Each year, the class selects one of their own as the recipient of the Christian Leadership Award. The student is one who has earned the respect of his or her class by the demonstration of his or her Christian character and example. This year's recipient entered LCS in the 3rd grade. She is a 4-time soccer state champion, has won multiple athletic awards, including the Christian Character Award and the Dairy Farm Player of the Year, and twice has been recognized as the Polk County Player of the Year. In addition, she has played for Orlando City Soccer for the last 5 years, and she works at the LCS soccer camps. She has also won multiple superior ratings at solo and ensemble for choir and voice, and has participated in all-county choir performances for 3 years. She has earned highest honor roll in her rigorous course load of AP and DE classes and is a member of the National Honor Society, as well as multiple subject area honor societies. Next year, she will continue her studies and her soccer at the University of South Alabama. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce our Christian character and leadership speaker, KJ Straub.
Hi everyone, my name is KJ Straub and I came to LCS in the 3rd grade. And I've been here ever since. There are so many of you that are so deserving of this, and I'm so honored to represent the class of 2024 to speak on Christian leadership. Before I talk, I just want to say that I love you all so much, and I hope what I share today resonates with all of us, but most importantly, with my fellow classmates. When I was told that I received this amazing honor of Christian leadership, it caused me to reflect on what Christian leadership looks like, and how as a student body, we can take this and live it out on our day-to-day lives and oncoming campuses. I believe that Philippians chapter 2 gives the perfect definition of what leadership should reflect. Paul reminds us to do nothing from selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility, count others more significant than yourselves. But I love the fact that he doesn't just stop there. How do we do such a hard task, you might ask yourself? Paul continues to say that we should have the same mindset as Christ Jesus. I remember during my 8th grade year going in the state semifinal soccer game when I had to guard one of the best players I have ever played against. Going into that game, I wanted to shut her down. I really wanted to win this game, and it was an opportunity to show that I could do it. But newsflash, I didn't do it. She dominated me, ended up scoring 2 goals on me, and we lost 0-3. And our dream of winning a state championship crumbled. I was so upset, and all I could think about was how I had let the team down. When I got home that night, my parents knew that I was so upset. After complaining to them about how badly I played, my dad told me something that has always stuck with me. My dad told me that I wasn't that important. And before any of you go home and say, wow, KJ's dad does not care about her whatsoever, there was a reason why he told me that. He told me that I wasn't that important because he was helping me understand what Paul continues to say after he asked us to have the mindset of Christ Jesus. He says that Jesus, who though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men. Although both of my parents have told me that I'm not important a few times in my life, after about complaining about something I did, for whatever reason, this time it truly stuck. This time, I was reminded of my selfless life and how selfish I could be at times. And during this time, I was reminded that Jesus was so selfless and that he loved others unconditionally. And he humbled himself and took it on the role of a servant, which even included washing a friend's feet. I was reminded of how selfish I can be, and it brought me to ask God for forgiveness. An example of someone who lived out what it means to have the mindset of Jesus and impacted my life by showing how to love others so well, and who most of you in this room knew and loved, my pappy, Roger Evans. My pappy and your coach taught me one of the most important lessons in my life. He continued to have joy and love others and serving others, even in some of the hardest times. And it showed me that even in my hardest times that I can be facing, how to love others. I could give you many examples of this, but here's one. Every Saturday after a football game, my pappy would go to LCS and wash all the football players' uniforms. As the cancer progressed, he became sicker and weaker. Even though our family and the LCS coaches tried to take that job away from him, he just wouldn't give it up. Doing the selfless and humble job of washing football uniforms was his way of showing the players and coaches that he loved them. He was an example of a true servant. Despite dealing with terminal cancer, he continued to put a smile on his face every single day while doing what he loved the most, which was being a coach and a mentor. My fellow seniors, I truly believe that if we are going to be a light wherever we go after this, we have to live in the freedom knowing that we are served and loved by a God who truly puts other needs above his own. Romans 5:8 says, "But God shows his love for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." How does this help us live in our separate lives? Think of yourself less when you're possibly rooming with someone who is nothing like you. Think of yourself less when you're nervous about starting a new job and starting over with so many people. Think of yourself less when you're stepping outside of your comfort zone and leaving home to go live somewhere else. While you are thinking of yourself less, think of Jesus more, remembering that Jesus not only took on the role of a servant, but he humbled himself on the cross. If I could leave you with anything today, it would just be to encourage others. Become like Christ by loving others and showing Christ's love through you. I will end with a quote from the late Tim Keller, who says, "The essence of gospel humility is not thinking more of myself or thinking less of myself, it is thinking of myself less." Thank you.